Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome. Well, spring's coming quickly. Now, got a couple things I need to do before I can start planting stuff. I would say my tractors are in pretty good order. I don't have much tractor stuff to do. Can't really do anything with my corn planter. I'm working on upgrading to an 8-row planter, a 7200. I'm going high class. I don't have that here yet, so I'm not doing anything with the 4-row till I make sure I get the 8-row. You know. But you know what, guys? I'm still gonna have to spray. So I say it's high time I wake up this old girl. I got a little bit of work to do on my super duper sprayer here to make this a reality. So, it ain't super nice out today. I mean, it's kind of nice, but here's my problem. I still got all this mud back here, so really all I want to do is get it out, pull it in the yard, let it sit for about 3 days for all the mud to dry up on the wheels, and then I can pull it forward and it won't leave a bunch of mud in my shop. That's my thought anyway. But let's see, let's get this unplugged. There. I don't need the battery tender on right now. Now, guys, the other fun fact, this tractor hasn't moved since October. When I put the tank on, I put this on, I backed her in here and she has not moved since. Been sitting all winter. Yeah, like I say, it ain't super nice today. So if you ever wanted to see how a 3208 cat starts when it's cold and been sitting for 5 months, I mean, geez, look at all the birds, been using it for target practice. I bet you this old girl cranks right now. Let's see. Ooh, throttle's low. I'll give her a little. I tell you what, guys, I don't think they make very many old tractors that start better than this one. Let's get her outside. That does go away after it warms up. My 1800's the same way. It growls like a son of a gun, and then it stops. The old homemade shaft is still doing its job in there, guys. Yeah, it's about time for me to get the best, world's greatest homemade 4-wheel drive sprayer kind of ready to go here, guys. I ain't got a lot to do, but I got enough to do, and I figure if I can get it done in kind of a timely manner, you know, one less thing to worry about. So here's my list. We'll just let that warm up for a few minutes. I hate to start it up to just pull it in somewhere and shut it off. I want to let it run and get up the temperature. Boy, she looks awful skinny sitting there where the Bertha tile was sitting there and took up the entire driveway. Gotta love it. So guys, basically here's where I'm at. So I gotta put my light bar in, so that way I have all that figured out. I got my 3 boom controls here, the pressure controller. I got this nifty little gizmo to go up in the cab. I got all the wiring and brackets. I got nozzles and filters and more nozzles and more nozzles. I got lots of nozzles, so that'll take care of that part. I got my pump there. I got to get a place to figure out where I'm going to mount the pump, get it hooked into its hydraulics. And friends, at that point it's just a matter of hooking up hoses, hooking up wires. Like I say, I have to run my pump in, run the agitator line, run the suction, the pressure line, run the return line back into the suction line, so everything will be plumbed properly, get my booms hooked up, get the nozzles on, get some water in the tank and see if it works, which I'm not going to water in the tank just yet because, well, it's going to freeze again, but at least I want everything ready, as ready as I can get it. So let's get to work, guys. There, guys, I told you after a couple minutes she don't make a lick of noise. But, you know, I can't complain. It's been sitting for 5-6 months, I would make a little bit of noise too. Thing sure does shut off with a vengeance. Well, friends, it's a nice crisp morning out here, and just as I had hoped, for the most part. If I let this thing set overnight and let the ground kind of freeze onto the tires, as soon as I pull it forward, most of it fell off. So that'll be less of it that I track into my shop. So I guess let's get this pulled in here. We got a lot to do. Guys, don't worry about that screwdriver in there. I'm just trying to loosen these wedges up. I don't need these on here anymore. I thought I might take them off and put them on, not this. So guys, for about the last 15 minutes, I kind of just been going through everything. The gentleman I bought this from really hooked me up and gave me a lot of goodies. He basically gave me everything he had for this and everything he's collected, everything that he bought and didn't need. You know, spare parts. He really hooked me up well, so I'm trying just to lay all this stuff out in such a way that I'll be able to just start plugging and playing. Hopefully. Okay, so I will definitely, I'm basically going to have to just build some type of a bracket or some place to mount the pump, because there really isn't anything on this unit that says, hey, put the pump right here. Now, as for the master, you know, my controller here, my thoughts were on that to kind of just mount him right here. All the hoses will reach, so that'll work. In fact, that's such a good idea. I think I'm going to just clamp that on there right now. You know, guys, I just got to mock everything up and see what's going to work and what isn't. That'll work. That'll work just fine. And like I said, my hoses, no problem. Easy. And yes, so that's going to be a good place for that. I'll probably get my drill out, drill some holes, and that's going to be a permanent situation. Now, I got to find a place to run my power wires and my pressure feed gauge here. I'm going to plug this stuff in. So this is my master controller. This will go up in the cab. Yeah. Pretty easy, on, off, left, center, right, booms, high pressure, lower pressure. That was probably the opposite of what I should have done. And this guy will go right on the dash. I just have to make sure that everything will hook up. That's really all I got to do to it. I could even put this alongside, maybe over here. Again, guys, one of those things, I'll figure it out when I get to the cab. I just have to make everything get to the cab, I guess is kind of where I'm going with that here. I'm going to go ahead and put this right inside. What do you think, Fluffy? A lot going on here, isn't there? Yeah, that's like you. Go in the house. Friends, here's some of this outside the box thinking that's going to take this Enterprise straight to the top. So I found a piece of metal, and I think this will work good for mounting my pump. I'll be close enough to the hydraulics, close enough to everything. Everything will work good. It'll be in a good place right here. Now, the hard part is, one, these 3-point arms move a little bit, so I can't just weld it on. I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna. And two, if I weld it on, well, I'll have to cut it in order to get this off of here. So what I thought was, I drilled a hole in here. I'm gonna weld a stud into that. I got a hole on this side, so I can, you know, just, it'll have a stud on this side, so it'll, you know, that'll work. And then all I gotta do is basically the exact same thing over here, except I'm gonna drill it so I can lock it in with another bolt. And I think that's gonna be, it's removable. It's only gonna have one bolt in it, so I mean that'll be kind of loose on that side, so I won't break anything. So guys, I think that is gonna be my option. There. Probably didn't screw up my threads, so that's even better. Now I'll just give that the old welder up on the sides there. That'll be a permanent situation. And then I can Yes, just like that. Now, like I say, just tap another hole on that side, and then if I need to remove this, I can still do that. Yeah, I like it when a plan comes together. Yeah, should be good. There. Okay, that'll probably be fine. Drill it right straight through right there. Well, that's what's going to happen anyway. Yes, goes all the way through. I can easily get a nut on that. Perfect. Now, I got to mark this so I can put the, now that I've got it on there, got to drill it for the pump, which actually I better make sure I get that in a good spot because I can't put it right here because there probably won't be room. Maybe on the other side would be better. I'm not sure. All right, so if I were this pump, I would want to be on here in a manner like, probably just like that would be fine. I can still run, I got to run my hydraulic hoses, but I don't think that's going to be, let me see here. Let me get some more clamps. Oh yeah, man, perfect. Yeah, that'll be no problem. I can probably even do, I could even do that with them straight. And I could run them around back here if I had to, I think. Before I get crazy drilling holes, let's make sure. There, so now that I know that'll work just fine, I can basically just mount this pump wherever the heck I feel like it. And I feel like this will be just fine. Let's just mark these holes the easy way, I guess. There's one. There's the other. Okay. Okay, there's one. Okay, and two. Excellent. Okay, let me get my hydraulic lines out of my way for now. Okay, so here's my outlet, which is a mile long, but that's okay actually because I want to put a filter in here, guys. And you know where that's going to go? You guessed it, right there. But for now, I can get this off of here because I still got that vice grip in place. Agitation, pressure, let's get this to somewhere about, yeah, that's fine. So, pressure, agitation, I'll have from the tank, return, into the pump. Guys, that's about all my plumbing right there. I'm not going to put that in there because there's still a couple fittings and whatnot, of course, but that's going to work nice, I think. I have high hopes anyway. Where's my agitation line? So that's there, that's there, that's there. I need a filter yet, but I'll worry about that tomorrow. Filters are easy. That's not a problem. Need a little bit of hose, a little bit of Teflon tape. Again, those are easy. Plumb the bottom of the tank to here. Again, that's not bad. Agitator line, that'll be not bad. Guys, it's time to move to the cab. Everything, I mean, from my standpoint, friends, this is, aside from running the hoses, which that's not challenging at all, I'm sitting pretty good here. So now, like I said, time to crawl up in the cab. And well, friends, I think I have everything set up in the cab. I mean, you know how I've been doing it. It's mocked up for what I want. So, I mean, real simple stuff here. So I run a couple self-tappers real quick for this bracket and just stuck the controller right here. That's perfect. I got my spot in the floor where it's coming through. Plug in the power, and then I just have to come up with a power and a ground. Should be able to find something under there that'll cover those issues. Now my light bar, same thing. I got my light bar just right here. It is right in the center of the steering wheel, but at the same time, it's also right in the center of the hood. And guys, this is at eye level for me right here. So I know it's hard to see with the lights and all that, but if that were on, right there, I'm going to be able to see that perfectly fine. So that's going to be, and actually, it doesn't look like it because it's how I'm setting, but that is exactly in the center. I like the way that sits there. I think what I'm going to do is just get myself a little piece of sticky Velcro or something and just stick that down, and that'll be just fine. I got the globe inside for right now. So, I mean, no big deal. If I got to stick it outside, I can just open the window and stick it on the cab. No big deal. I got plenty of cable, so that should work out. So, guys, I'm pretty excited. This is, turn off the power. This is spraying technology that I have never had before. So, I mean, like I said, I'm going to take this Enterprise straight into the 80s faster than I would have ever imagined, for what it's worth. So I think that's going to probably cut me out for today. I need to make a list of a few things. So first thing I need, filter. That's easy enough. I need under the tank an elbow to come out to here. I need some 5/8 hose. I think since my old agitation hose was 3/4, and that's way too big. What else do I need back here? That should cover it. I'll double check and make sure I don't need anything else to go to make that work for there, but I need to be able to get fluid from there to the pump, from the pump to this, to that, easy enough. That's going back down into there, which is already plumbed, so that's good. I need two wire power plugs for my GPS and for the controller, so I can have those two items working. Gosh. Guys, I think that's about all I need, so I suppose that's going to do it for tonight. I'll catch you back up in the morning, guys. Yeah, guys, I'm back. I got some surplus here. Is that everything? Nope. I probably have everything I need here, hopefully. So I think what I'm going to do, friends, is I'm just going to start off with what's probably going to be the least fun. Getting up under that. I got to squirm up under the tank there and get the elbow put on. You can't really see it, but yeah, there it is right there. There's a little snout. So I got some tape and a elbow here. Time to make that a reality. Okay. That I like. I like that just fine. Now guys, my big test here is going to be to see if I've actually left enough room for that to clear. I hope I did. She's going to be close. No doubt about that. Well, guys, as usual, technical difficulties are going to cause me technical difficulties today. So, as I kind of wondered, if you peek in here, that hangs down just a hair low, and it does hit this thing. Now, not the end of the world. Rome wasn't built in a day, and the world's greatest four-wheel drive sprayer also wasn't built in a day. Otherwise, I'd have had it done yesterday. The question is do I just pull these bolts and bolt this tank on higher? I mean, is that out of the question? It ain't like I don't have to build a bracket for the front of this thing anyway, so I guess what difference would it make whether I just bolt the tank on a little bit higher? It ain't like I can see over it anyway, so that's actually not a bad option either. Might be a little bit of a time saver for me. Maybe those yellow or those red triangles are there for a reason. I just didn't even notice. Sometimes things just work out. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Nothing's worked out yet. Goes nothing. Oh, don't fall off the back or the front. Let's take this and build from here. Well, friends, like I said, I'll find a way. I'll make this work. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Terrific. There. Now I got to figure out, I still got to do something for the front here, but again, not any farther setback than I was, guys, so I guess that's not such a bad thing. And at least I know right now the tank is at least, again, not going anywhere, so that's good. Well, there. Okay, that'll keep everything where it needs to be for now. Again, guys, I know I got to make some brackets for the front of this yet, but we're still in mock-up stage, so we're doing okay yet. So that does put the tank about 8 inches higher than it was before. I don't still foresee that causing me any other issues. It's 10 feet off the ground, whether it's 10'6" or 10'2". Either way. And I guess, again, guys, on top of that, now I can absolutely access everything better underneath. So this was the right idea. It was the right choice. Tighten these bolts down a little bit so I know it won't fall the heck off. Okay, there. Now, guys, I know you're concerned right now because you're wondering if those little triangles are going to be strong enough to hold up, let's see, 300 gallons times 8, 2,500 pounds. Well, yeah, I'm fine with it. Guys, they're the exact same thickness as what the frame of this thing had. And actually, the little posts that came down for the wheels on this thing were even thinner tubing yet. So, yeah, I'm not concerned about that. I think it's going to be fine. And if it's not, well, I'm sure that everyone will see if it falls off of here. But again, I don't think I'm going to lose too much sleep over that. So, all right, so tank's relocated. Tank's got some bolts in it, so that's good. Let me rehook everything back up again, make sure it's all going to reach. Because that'll be my next concern. Now that the tank is up and back a few more inches, is everything still going to work out the same? I surely hope so. But if not, I mean, this is why we do the mock-up. Okay, so there's that. Now, where was I with everything? So I got that. Obviously my lines are still that's still gonna reach there. Okay. Electricity. Let's see if my electricity will still get where it needs to be. Oh, no problem. Yes, everything's gonna work just fine. I'll hook him up. Okay, so that's good. Now, so what's next? I got to get a line. Let's get things plumbed from the tank to the front here. That's been kind of an ongoing deal here for me. I needed this guy. There. Get this guy threaded on in here. Okay, actually that's not bad at all. So I got my return from my pressure let off up here, guys, so that's good. Now I need this one. Okay, now how do I want to run? Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Now I can always, this guy's right here is just my drain valve. I think what I can do, this has the threads on it. I can get something so I can maybe thread a piece down, just down here on the floor, so that way when I hit the drain, it ain't spraying chemical, all over everything, because I could do without that. But for the most part, everything I've got here is going to work just fine. Lifting the tank up on this, guys, was definitely the correct idea. I'm glad I did that. And that stuff's all tight, so that should actually be fine. I don't need to clamp that down yet because I still, like I said, this part of the mock-up stage still needs to be removable in case I need to remove it. The rest of this can basically stay, but the pump and the controller, if I need to get those gone, those need to be gone. So guys, what's next? I'm running out of things to mock up here. I got to get my filter mounted up here, and I was kind of banging my head against the wall trying to figure out how I was going to do that, but I think what I'm going to do is something very similar to this. Let's see. Let's put this one here, kind of like this. Yes. That there. Yes. And like that. And let me tighten these screws down, guys, but I don't think this is going to be a big problem. I think this is actually going to work out pretty darn good. Get my hose on here. Pressure's going this way. So, of course, I've got it on backwards. Wouldn't expect anything less. Okay, direction that way. I can come from here to here to here. That's better. Okay. Wasn't really sure how I was going to mount this thing, guys. I mean, I didn't really have a good pipe that I was going to set it on or anything, so This was kind of just the next best thing that come to mind. As long as it all stays where it needed to stay. Okay, don't need it thousands of foot-pounds tight, but that's good. That's good. Maybe I'll find a nut that I can stick on there. Can I still get this off? Yes. Yes. Arrow's pointing in the right direction. Gosh, dang it, guys. Things are coming together. Let's see, will that fit there? Not that I'm worried about that pulling out of there, but whatever. If something can go wrong, I'll expect that. Well, I'll just expect it. At least this gives me some fighting chance. Okay, now, got to plumb it from there to there and there to there, and I think that's about it. High pressure piece of hose that came with the kit. Sure. Yeah, I kind of don't hate that too badly. I'll put the clamp tight on this end because this is going to stay with the program here. I don't have to pull that off for any reason. Okay, well, that's a little bit of all right. I can handle that. Okay, so that's terrific. Only one piece of plumbing left to do back here, guys. Anyone? Anyone? Well, if you said run my agitator line, you'd be correct. So here's what I've got. I went to the old parts store this morning and I picked up just some simple 1/2-inch hose. Easy peasy. So I'm going to run her up there. Of course, my agitator tube's on the other side of here. Whatever. Can't win them all. But no big deal. This is actually going to work out just fine. I need a couple of zip ties so I can just tie this to the areas I need it to hang out. Okay, let's go up on top of this beast here, guys. If I can do this without dropping us all on the ground, I'll be a step ahead. Okay, we made it. So, here's where my agitation line goes. So what I'm going to do, cut it right here. There you go. I went ahead and I bought a little elbow to go in here, but I mean, honestly, I don't feel like I'm going to necessarily need the elbow. But I'm going to put it on here anyway, just because it'll help keep this thing from pulling out or whatnot, let's just say. Going down. Elbow. I'll need a hose clamp on both ends of this. Run that down in the hole. Now, hose. My other thoughts were stick a bolt in the end here. 1, for some weight. And 2, poke a bunch of holes all the way along this so it can actually agitate like it's supposed to. I think that would be in my best interest. But otherwise, I think that's going to work just fine. Let me get this back off of here. I forgot to hit the record button. Whoops. Anyway, short story long. I took this 1/4-inch drill bit, started poking a bunch of holes in this hose. So I've got nice 1/4-inch holes, basically, at about a 2-foot distance from it. I got it plugged off on the end here. I got a bolt inside of this. So this is going to help me out 2 ways. One, it'll stop flow and make it go through all these little holes here. And 2, it'll hold it on the bottom of the tank. So that's a double win. So friends, let's take this out to the garden hose, turn the water on, and just, well, 1, blow all the little rubber chunks out of here. And 2, make sure it actually works. Oh, terrific. You know what it's supposed to be doing. I like that. Okay, good enough for me. Friends, I think this is going to work like a charm. I sure hope. I'm going to go back up on top of here and get a couple of hose clamps on this and get that set, and that'll be, we're done. We're done outside. Everything's mocked and plumbed and done. Let me put this in and I'll show you real quick. There, so friends, like I said, everything from the cab back is, it's working. Well, it isn't working yet, but it's going to work. Everything is mocked up, and I feel good about all that. Now, again, don't worry. I'll make some brackets for that. That's not something I need to do right away quick here, but I'll make some T-brackets out of some angle iron or C-channel or something just so that we ain't only accepting that block is what's going to hold this thing off the ground. So never mind that now. So I got power from in the cab going back. All my solenoids are hooked up. Pressure. Right, center, left. I've got hose from the tank. Clean out, which, again, I'll come up with a little something on that just so it ain't squirting me right in the face. Onto my T. I've got return from the pressure going back in here where it's supposed to be. I've got agitator. I've got pressure. I've got filter. I've got pump. Got my hydraulic lines. This thing is as mocked up and ready to roll as it's probably ever going to get. Now, again, guys, I can't try anything out on it today because, well, we're still expecting a little more freezing weather here, but not the end of the world. At least I got all this done. And this was a lot more than I expected I was going to get done today. So that's good. I still got to take and fold the booms out yet and put all these nozzles in, which, again, not the end of the world, guys. That's stuff that you do kind of prior to spraying anyway. So I'm going to have to run some water through everything, make sure that it all works, which, like I said, now I'm pretty sure everything's going to work just fine. But until I can expect that it's not going to be under 32 degrees in the summer or in the evening, I'm not big on putting any water in the pump just yet or in the tank. So we'll get to that. But again, just mock up. All I got left to do, ouch. All I got left to do at this point is hook up a wire for my GPS, hook up a power wire for my controller, and man, better turn these off. I'm ready to go spraying, guys. So I think on that note, I'm gonna cut you guys loose. The main part of the fun all happened back there today, guys, because that's where all the, this is the mullet of sprayers. Business up front, party in the rear. So guys, I guess I don't have anything else more for you today. Like I said, I'm just gonna hook power to these and make sure they work. And we're gonna pull this back out of here and wait till it is slightly warmer. We'll get some water in this tank, get it spraying, get it calibrated. Hell, I'm ready for planting season, guys. So I guess, hey, that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
What's the most attractive vehicle a guy can drive?
That one.